Assalamu alaikum students, how are you? I am your science teacher and today we are going to start our science book. The course content is as follows. In biology section there are two chapters. Number 1 is cells, tissues and organs. Number 3 is photosynthesis and respiration in plants. In chemistry section there is only one chapter, that is unit 5, atoms, molecules, mixtures and compounds. In physics portion there is only one chapter, unit 9, forces and machines. Dear students, today I will start chapter number 1, cells, tissues and organs, which is from biology section. First of all, I will define biology. Biology is a Greek word. Bio means life and logos means to study. So biology is defined as the branch of science which deals with the study of life. Dear students, in this chapter I will explain the following topics: cell, plant and animal cell, specialized cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, unicellular and multicellular organisms, and microscopes. Dear students, I am going to start my topic, that is cell. The word cell is derived from Latin word cella, which means small room. Cells were first discovered by a scientist, Robert Hooke, in 1665. As you know that cells are the building blocks of all living things, that is humans, plants and animals. They provide structure for the body, take in nutrients from food, convert those nutrients into energy, and carry out specialized functions. Therefore, they are also called structural and functional unit of the body. Now I am going to explain the structure of the cell. A cell consists of three parts: cell membrane, nucleus, and between the two, the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a fluid that contains a number of small structures called organelles. These are mitochondria, which produce energy for the cell. That's why mitochondria is also called the powerhouse of the cell, because it produces energy for the cell. Ribosomes, which make proteins, and nucleus, which control all activities of the cell, for example growth and reproduction. Now I will explain the different and common features of plant cell and animal cell. There are some features which are present in both the cells, that are common features, and there are some features which are present in one cell but absent in the other cell, that are called the different features. First, I will explain those features that are present in plant cell but absent in animal cell. Look at the diagrams. These two are the diagrams of plant cell and animal cell. In plant cell, cell wall is the outermost boundary and it is absent in animal cell. It is made from a tough material called cellulose. The function of cell wall is to give strength and structure to the cell and to filter molecules that pass in and out of the cell. Number 2 is chloroplast. Chloroplast is present in plant cell but absent in animal cell. Chloroplasts are also called food factories of plants because they help in photosynthesis. Inside the chloroplast, a green pigment called chlorophyll is present, due to which the color of leaf is green. The function of chlorophyll is to capture the energy from sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. And what is the process of photosynthesis? The process through which plants make their own food. Number 3 is vacuole. Vacuole is a bag-like structure. It contains a solution of sugar and salt called cell sap. The function of cell shape is to push the cytoplasm against the cell wall to keep the cell rigid. The main difference between plant and animal vacuoles is that plant vacuole is single in number and large in size, whereas animal vacuoles are more in number and small in size. Animal vacuoles are for short time. They are temporary and they will burst after some time and new vacuoles will be formed. Now I will explain common features of plant and animal cells. First one is cell membrane, second is cytoplasm, and third is nucleus. In animal cell membrane is the outermost boundary. The function of cell membrane is to give shape to the cell and allow materials, that is oxygen, carbon dioxide and food and waste material to go in and out of the cell. Cell membrane is also called the gatekeeper. The second common feature is cytoplasm. As I have discussed earlier that it is a fluid that fills the cells and performs several important functions. It holds the internal components of cells in place and protects them from damage. In cytoplasm, the two major organelles are present, that is mitochondria and ribosomes. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Here energy for the cell is produced. Ribosomes make proteins for the cell. The third common feature is nucleus, that is present both in plant and animal cells. Nucleus is the control house of the cell. It controls all activities of the cell. Nucleus also contains a substance called DNA. What is DNA? DNA is a short form of deoxyribonucleic acid. It is a genetic material through which characteristics from parents are transferred to their offspring. Okay, our next topic is specialist cells. First of all, I will tell you that what are specialist or specialized cells. Some cells in multicellular organisms are modified to carry out a particular or specific function. These cells are called specialist cells. Specialist cells are present both in plant and animal cells. Specialist cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs and organs make up organ system that work together to make up our bodies. Specialist cells are present both in plant and animal cells. First I will discuss specialist plant cells. There are two types of specialist plant cells, palisade cells and root hair cells. First, I will explain palisade cells. Look at the diagram of palisade cell. Palisade cells are found in the leaves of plants. They are the place where photosynthesis takes place. The function of these cells is to absorb light for the process of photosynthesis. They contain the largest number of chloroplasts due to which photosynthesis takes place here. Number 2 is root hair cells. Look at the diagram of root hair cells. Root hair cells are located underground. This means that they do not contain chloroplast. They have long projections that increase the surface area that the plant can use to absorb water and minerals. The function of root hair cells is to absorb water and mineral nutrients present in the soil and take this solution up through the roots to the rest of the plant. Now we will discuss specialist animal cells. Students, there are many types of specialist animal cells, but here we will discuss only three types, that is red blood cells, nerve cells and ciliated epithelial cells. First I will tell you about red blood cells. Red blood cells are also called erythrocytes. They are made in bone marrow. Here is the diagram of red blood cells. They have biconcave shape which maximizes the surface area of the cell membrane for absorbing oxygen. It also contains a substance called hemoglobin, which is a protein combined with iron. that gives blood its red color and enable it to carry oxygen. The function of red blood cells is to carry oxygen from lungs to all parts of the body. That oxygen is used by cells to produce energy that the body needs, leaving carbon dioxide as a waste product. Next are the nerve cells. Nerve cells are also known as neurons. These are found in nervous system. Neurons communicate with each other and with other cells through electrical signals, also called nerve impulses. As you can see in the diagram, neurons or nerve cells are very thin and long, about 1 meter long. They have 3 distinct parts including cell body, axon and dendrites. These parts help them to send and receive messages. The function of neurons is to transmit information from one part of the body to another. It transmits messages to the brain and also take away messages from the brain to the receptor organs. The third and last one is called ciliated epithelial cells. They are also called cilia as shown in the diagram. Cilia are tiny hairs-like structures on the surface of the cell. Now come to the function of ciliated epithelial cells. Cilia move back and forth to help move particles of our body. These cells are found in respiratory tract and in the fallopian tubes of women. Ciliated cells in the respiratory tract sweep out dust particles from nose and windpipe and keep them clean, while in the oviduct move the egg cells along from the ovaries to the uterus. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.